The wife of Johnny Depp, Amber Heard, claims domestic violence and seeks restraining order against Johnny Depp. Well, she seeks a lot more than the restraining order. She wants spousal support too. Let's read from TMZ, who, by the way, did some pretty fair reporting here and is actually quite skeptical of the damsel in distress. Now, I'm not saying she wasn't abused, as you can see in this photo here, where she claims Johnny Depp smashed an iPhone into her face. I'm not saying she's lying, but I am saying let's be open-minded and skeptical and find out what actually happened. Here's an update. 11:47 a.m. Friday. The judge just granted a temporary restraining order requiring Johnny to stay 100 yards away from Amber, at least until a hearing next month. That's not a real problem since Johnny is in Europe promoting his movie. The judge also gave her the right to live in the family home. Ooh. So Amber Heard, by the judge, was given right to live in the family home. The judge rejected many other requests by Amber. Apparently the bitch was getting greedy. Notably, the judge said no to an order keeping Johnny away from at least one of their dogs, saying there was, quote, an insufficient showing to protect the pet dog. It's unclear why the judge didn't reference the second dog. Now, it's interesting because why would she ask Johnny Depp to stay away from their own dogs? I mean, does he abuse the dogs too? Or maybe this is a crazy bitch who just wants to take from a guy who maybe was considering divorcing her ass. But again, I could be wrong, even though there's plenty of cases of women doing this, manipulating the court system. I could be wrong, so let's keep an open mind. TMZ continues, and Amber also got shut down when it came to awarding spousal support and attorney's fees. The judge also rejected her request for possession of their Range Rover. So she wanted Johnny Depp to pay for spousal support and attorney's fees, and she also wanted possession of their Range Rover. Wow, she just wants it all now, huh? Amber Heard just showed up in court with a bruise on her face claiming Johnny Depp physically assaulted her and she's the victim of repeated domestic violence. TMZ has learned, but sources connected to Johnny Depp are calling BS, saying, quote, Amber is an affront to real victims of domestic violence. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Basically what they're saying is she's bullshitting, and that you're taking a shit on real victims of domestic violence. Sort of like when feminists cry rape, even though they weren't actually raped, like the UVA campus rape hoax. Feminists claim to be not pro-rape, though in a strange way you'd think they were pro-rape because they're fucking making a mockery of true rape victims when they pull out these false rape allegations. And of course, speaking of false rape allegations, I think it's pretty important that in a feminist age where feminists are doing slut walk rallies everywhere trying to talk to you about how evil the quote-unquote supposed rape culture is, why don't we talk a little bit about the women's rape fantasy? Now, this is not an attack on women, and if you're a female watching this video right now, I don't hate you at all. I don't think there should be any shame if you have a rape fantasy. And there's a very interesting book that, in a way, could be a little bit hard to read because it's so intense. It's called My Secret Garden, Women's Sexual Fantasies. You'll blush, your pulse will race. The reason I'm pointing this, it's actually written by a female, Nancy Friday. She basically got a compilation. She got a bunch of women to basically send in their most secret sexual fantasies, and she put them all in a book. And one of the most common fantasies was the rape fantasy. And of course, if you guys are interested in this book, this classic bestseller, I'll put the link to the book in the description below to take you right to the book. Now, people ask me, why the fuck are you talking about women's rape fantasies, you weirdo? Well, number one, it's entirely relevant in an age where feminists are saying we live in a rape culture. Well, if we live in a rape culture because of the so-called patriarchy, then let's talk about the matriarchy of rape culture. Women themselves who have rape fantasies. Fantasies of being raped. Okay? And it's not necessarily that it's rape culture. You know, feminists will tell you, oh, the reason why women have rape fantasies is because of internalized misogyny. Okay, well, how about in the internalized sexual scarcity of feminists? You know, a woman who likes an ultra-masculine man, he must have internalized misogyny. Well, maybe a feminist who can't get an ultra-masculine guy because she weighs 300 pounds and she's completely disgusting. Maybe she has internalized sexual scarcity. Maybe that's your problem. The truth is that, you know, if you really claim to be pro-woman, wouldn't you want to embrace women's sexual fantasies? But again, guys, My Secret Garden, I purchased the book myself. I flipped through it. It's pretty insane, but it's very insightful, and it's wonderful to see, get a glimpse into women's secret garden. And again, if you guys are interested in this book, I will put the link to it below it to take you right to it. Amber Heard showed up with her lawyer, Samantha Spector, armed with photos showing various bruises she claims Depp inflicted during various times during their marriage. We obtained this pic showing Amber with a bruise around her eye, which she says Depp inflicted Saturday night. Heard claims the pic was taken shortly after she was allegedly struck. She claims Depp smashed his iPhone on her face. Amber claims during the alleged attack, Johnny shattered various objects in the apartment. She says she was on the phone with a friend during the fight, and when Johnny grabbed her phone, she screamed to her friend, "Call the cops." The friend called 911 and the cops came to the residence. Amber says when cops arrived, Johnny had already fled, so they took a report. So Johnny Depp, a filthy rich guy, super confident, super suave, could get any woman in the world, rich, hardworking. He's apparently going around beating up women and fleeing from the police, according to this woman. Okay, not impossible. We're told cops told Amber they would find Johnny and arrest him if she gave a statement about the alleged violence, but she refused. Officers told her if she changed her mind, she could call them. So, given the opportunity to provide a statement about the alleged violence and get his ass arrested, she refused. Now, if you genuinely believe that your husband beat you, and it's such a terrible thing that you're going public with it, releasing photos of the alleged assault, and he's such an evil guy that you're willing to, take all the money from him, asking for all the spousal support and attorney's fees and not letting him see his dogs and fucking, you better give me your Range Rover. All this shit you're willing to go through because he assaulted you, but you won't simply file a police report? Strange. TMZ continues. Cops gave Amber this business card, blah, blah, blah. Heard claims after he allegedly hit her, he offered her money to stay quiet, but instead she filed for a divorce first thing Monday morning. Amber says she has video of one of the beatings. Oh, I'd like to see that. TMZ continues. It's interesting. She's asking for a temporary restraining order, claiming there's an immediate threat of harm, but Depp has been out of town since Wednesday promoting his new movie. Depp's lawyer, Laura Wasser, appeared on his behalf. As for why Depp and his people are calling BS, first, she never filed a police report, and she posted Instagram pics after the alleged beating and never showed any injury. So it's very interesting. Who knows? It could be true. It might not be true. I sure as hell don't know. But at least we could ask questions, right? It's funny, on Instagram, there's a fan page, there's an official fan page dedicated to Amber, and even in the comments, people are already questioning her story. The first person here believes the female. This person says, "Are you fucking stupid? He was abusing her." Then this person says, "Let's be real. She demanded alimony, he said no, and now she's an abused woman." Another person says, "Bullshit. This is positioning so that she can steal as much money from him as possible. And yes, it's theft. This bitch doesn't deserve a fucking dime. Blah, blah, blah. Lying bitch, etc." Interesting indeed. So, we shall see what happens.